Ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians dressed? Today we're diving deep into the world of ancient Egyptian fashion. The civilization of ancient Egypt, one of the earliest in human history, was a cultural powerhouse, boasting advances in art, architecture, and yes, fashion. The Egyptians valued aesthetics, and their clothing choices were no exception. From the sweltering heat of the desert to the cool banks of the Nile, their attire was designed not only for practicality, but also for style and status. The journey of ancient Egyptian fashion is a rich tapestry woven through with threads of cultural symbolism, religious significance, and social hierarchy. It is a story that begins with the simplicity of linen kilts and straight dresses and evolves into a vibrant display of colors, patterns, and imported fabrics. Join us as we take a journey back in time to explore the evolution of ancient Egyptian fashion. The story of Egyptian fashion begins in the early dynastic period. During this time, simplicity was the name of the game. Clothing was primarily made from linen, a fabric known for its breathability and comfort in the hot Egyptian climate. Men usually sported kilts, while the ladies donned straight dresses, both fashioned from this versatile material. But don't let the simplicity of their outfits fool you. The ancient Egyptians knew how to accessorize. Jewelry was a significant aspect of their attire, with both men and women adorning themselves with beaded collars and bracelets. These accessories added a touch of elegance and personality to their otherwise straightforward clothing. So even in these early days, the Egyptians were already setting the stage for a fashion culture that was both practical and aesthetically pleasing. As we move forward in time, fashion begins to reflect social status. In the Old Kingdom, clothing became a reflection of one's social standing. The humble kilt remained a mainstay in men's fashion, but it was the quality of the linen and the craftsmanship that set the nobility apart. As for the women, their dresses evolved to become more fitted, sometimes even featuring shoulder straps. This was a departure from the straight-cut dresses of the early dynastic period, adding an element of style and sophistication. But it wasn't just about the cut and fit. The quality of the linen used in these dresses was a clear indicator of a woman's status in society. It was during this period that fashion began to mirror the stratification in Egyptian society, with the quality of one's clothing serving as a silent testament to their social standing. As we leave the Old Kingdom behind and enter the Middle Kingdom, we'll see how clothing becomes even more elaborate. The Middle Kingdom saw the evolution of style and sophistication. As the ancient Egyptians' understanding of textiles grew, so did the complexity of their fashion. Men's kilts, previously simplistic, were now extended to ankle length, providing a more regal and elegant appearance. The kilts were meticulously crafted, exhibiting the Egyptians' growing attention to detail and refinement. Women's fashion wasn't left behind either. The straight dresses of the past evolved into detailed pieces featuring intricate pleats, adding a touch of sophistication that had never been seen before. These dresses were often accessorized with belts, demonstrating the ancient Egyptians' knack for accessorizing and their appreciation for detail. This era marked a significant turning point in the history of ancient Egyptian fashion, with the introduction of sophistication and attention to detail that would continue to shape the evolution of their fashion. But as we'll see next, the New Kingdom brings vibrant colors and patterns into the mix. The New Kingdom was a time of vibrancy and color in ancient Egyptian fashion. This era saw a departure from the simplicity of previous periods, introducing a riot of colors and intricate patterns to the sartorial landscape. The Kala series, a fitted and pleated dress, became a staple for women, bringing a new level of sophistication and elegance to their attire. Moreover, the fashion of the pharaohs and elites evolved into a spectacle of opulence and grandeur. Their garments became more elaborate, often embellished with precious jewels and intricate designs, reflecting their status and power. The use of vibrant colors was no mere aesthetic choice, but a symbol of wealth and status, with certain hues reserved for the upper echelons of society. The New Kingdom, therefore, marked a significant shift in ancient Egyptian fashion, setting the stage for the diverse styles and influences of the periods to come. Moving into the late period, we see Persian and Greek influences. The late period introduced new styles into Egyptian fashion, During this era, the cultural crossroads of Egypt were reflected in the clothing, with Persian and Greek influences seeping into the fabric of society. Wider sleeves began to appear, lending a new airiness to the garments. The garments themselves took on a looser drape, flowing more freely around the body, in a departure from the fitted styles of earlier periods. But perhaps the most notable shift was the accessibility of imported fabrics. As trade routes expanded and Egypt's connections with other cultures grew, fabrics from far and wide began to make their way into Egyptian wardrobes. This not only diversified the textures and patterns available, but also brought about a more cosmopolitan feel to the fashion landscape. The late period was indeed a melting pot of styles, setting the stage for the next chapter in Egyptian fashion. In the Ptolemaic and Roman periods, Egyptian styles continued to merge with Greco-Roman fashion. The Ptolemaic and Roman periods brought a fusion of styles. As Egyptian civilization opened up to the wider Mediterranean world, their fashion absorbed influences from both Greek and Roman cultures. This was a period of merging styles where the traditional Egyptian clothing began to fuse with the Greco-Roman fashion sensibilities. The toga, an emblematic Roman garment, began to appear in the wardrobes of the Egyptian upper classes. Similarly, the stola, a long, pleated dress worn by Roman women, also made its way into Egyptian fashion. Tunics became a common sight, offering a comfortable and versatile option for both men and women. Cloaks and draped garments also gained popularity, underscoring the trend towards looser, more flowing attire. This fusion of styles led to a unique blend of Egyptian and Greco-Roman fashions that still influences design aesthetics today. Beyond clothing, the ancient Egyptians had a rich culture of body adornment and cosmetic use. Let's look at some fun facts about ancient Egyptian fashion. In the heart of the Nile Valley, clothing choices were like a language, speaking volumes about a person's identity, status, and religious beliefs. The colors, materials, and styles all held symbolic meanings. Now, when picturing ancient Egypt, we often envision the iconic Nima's headdress worn by pharaohs. But did you know that wigs were also incredibly popular? They served both practical and symbolic purposes, providing protection from the scorching sun while also denoting social status. Talking about status, let's not forget the elaborate use of cosmetics. Both men and women adorned themselves with eye makeup, often using kohl to create distinct eye shapes. This wasn't just a fashion statement, but also a protective measure against the harsh desert conditions. Perfumes and oils, too, played a crucial role in daily grooming. Egyptians used fragrances not just for personal hygiene, but also for religious rituals. The scent of a person could tell you a lot about their social standing and their spiritual practices. Jewelry was another significant element of ancient Egyptian fashion. From necklaces and bracelets to anklets and rings, Egyptians loved to adorn themselves with a plethora of accessories. Jewelry was not just a fashion accessory, but a symbol of wealth and prosperity. The ancient Egyptians were textile experts, with their linen highly prized for its quality. The skillful use of linen allowed for comfortable and breathable clothing, a necessity in Egypt's hot climate. And finally, let's talk about body art. While not as prevalent as in other ancient cultures, Egyptians did engage in body art, including tattoos. Evidence suggests that tattoos were used for religious and medicinal purposes, adding another layer of complexity to the ancient Egyptian aesthetic. The fashion history of ancient Egypt reflects a civilization deeply rooted in symbolism, craftsmanship, and a keen understanding of textiles. Clothing was not just about practicality, but a form of self-expression and a testament to cultural and religious significance. The ancient Egyptians left us a rich legacy in the world of fashion. From the simplicity of the early dynastic period with their linen kilts and dresses, to the vibrancy of the New Kingdom and the eclectic blend of styles during the Ptolemaic and Roman periods. The evolution of ancient Egyptian fashion paints a vivid picture of a civilization deeply rooted in symbolism, craftsmanship, and a keen understanding of textiles. Their clothing choices were more than just practical. They were imbued with cultural and religious significance. The ancient Egyptians were not just trendsetters. They were masters of textile craftsmanship, creating comfortable and breathable clothing perfect for their hot climate. Even today, Their influence is seen in our love for jewelry, cosmetics, and the symbolic power of clothing. The legacy of ancient Egyptian fashion continues to inspire and captivate us, reminding us of the timeless allure of their sophisticated and symbolic style. Remember to subscribe and like our channel for more fascinating insights into history. Until next time, keep exploring the past.